So while we get technically ready, it's a pleasure to be here with you today. So good morning. My name is Tanya Cox, and I've been working for the Metro Group. Accelerator is powered by Techstars, and Techstars has a long history in terms of working with startups. So let's look a little bit here. We're talking about 15 years of experience before Techstars. The founder and also into ventures. And what we're going to focus on today is a bit on the accelerators. I think some quite well known. I think everybody's familiar with Uber, and these did and worked with Techstars. So the history is actually quite strong in what they're doing with startups. They are known worldwide. They have 28 different accelerator programs, a lot in the United States because that's where they're founded, but also you can see in Europe, also in other areas of the world. If you have a brief look, and I think these figures say quite a bit in terms of what's in their portfolio. If we have a look at the alumni companies, we're talking about almost 900 last year. If you look down here on some of the companies, more than $30 million in terms of funding. And if you look at the end, the total money raised last year was $2.95 billion. So I think the foundation and the expertise is really there with Techstars. You can go to the next. And if you want to have a bit of information on how they work with the startups, their investment approach, they are really a specialized equity investor, and they have invested in over 1,000 different companies. They have a set program. It's compulsory that for at least $20,000, they will have a 6% common share purchase, and then also as a, let's say, voluntary or optional, there's a 100,000 debt note that can be convertible into the startup. This is non-negotiable. It's take it or leave it, and if you want more information about how that funding is working with Techstar, you can also see that on the net. So let's move to the part that I know even better, talking about the Metro Accelerator powered by Techstars. It's a wonderful combination between Metro and Techstars because they bring the expertise about how accelerators work, how to work with startups, and what we're doing is bringing the expertise in terms of the business of wholesale, dealing with customers, and this particular accelerator is dealing with hospitality. What we're talking about is tech in restaurants and in hotels. And why that's important to us, we have 21 million customers in 25 different countries that are dealing with this type of business. So in terms of outreach and possible customers for different startups, it's quite attractive. In the selection process, what we're doing, it's quite extensive, and actually I participated in the selection process in 2015. We had last year, I think, 680 different companies that applied. We go through an extensive process with video interviews. We have meetings and discuss what we think would be the right mix in terms of restaurants and hospitality. There are then individual screenings, and at the end, we have about 10 startups that actually go into the accelerator and do the course with the various help and support coming from Techstars and from Metro. Okay?
Okay, this one.
Yep. So beyond the money, what is in it for you? You know, I think it's one of the main questions. What's in it for me? And I think what's very interesting here is that first and foremost, there are a lot of mentors out there that we can produce within the industry from within Metro as well as within our customer base. We also have all of the Techstar alum, so this is access also to them and what they have done. Support in terms of the marketing, the sales, the product development. And then as well, pilot programs that you can do with the Metro countries and their customers. That means getting started with your concepts directly with the various businesses. And finally, the fundraising support. If we go into detail about three more things, one about the mentors, about the products, and the lead generation. First, if we think about the mentors, they're quite world-class. Our CEO of the group, Olaf Koch, is one of them. And what we do is we think we give first. So we have what I would call a speed dating, where various people from Metro, also various partners that we have, sit with the startups that are selected into the accelerator, and we talk about what the matches could be, what are the needs, what are the levels of expertise that these people have, and it can be that they do various things. They can mentor, they can be advisors, they can end up being employees, and we even had the case where one of the companies was even purchased. So I think it's a really attractive set of mentors. In 2015, I sat as a mentor for one of the startups, and what I ended up doing, if you turn to the next page, is looking at various ways of their modeling. But where I played the most, let's say, role is in terms of the pitch training. So I remember sitting on the other end where they're doing their first pitch, and I'm basically the guinea pig, talking about how they can do that pitch better and what they can do. And then also in terms of financial modeling, because in my previous life before being a CEO, I was a CFO, and I helped them think about primarily cash is king. How do you make sure that you have enough cash to keep yourselves running? And what can we do about payment? So going through and asking these type of questions can really help in terms of creating the financial modeling behind that. But there are other things. It can be about product development. It can be about the market segmentation. How can you enter into a new market? So we have a lot of expertise either coming from Techstars or from Metro where you can get really some advice from that. The last part is dealing also with the lead generation, because I think it's important also as a startup, you have a great idea, but how can you really get it out there? And like I said, we have 21 million customers worldwide, and we have something that we call HoReCa Digital. HoReCa in this sense stands for hotels, restaurants, and caterers. That's the main customers, at least here in Portugal, that we're dealing with Macro. And we have a department in Dusseldorf that's really looking at the digital aspect within this industry. It's one of the least, let's say, digitalized industries, and we're looking at how can we support our customers by giving first and helping them become more digital. So how you can get some leads. Could go to the next slide. In 2015, when I was involved, we actually used the sales force that we have on the streets in the various countries. It didn't work that well because it was something very new and something that we also weren't used to, something that we were learning. But in 2016, we used the HoReCa Digital Department in Germany to help support that, and it worked a lot better. And you can see the best startup had more than 1,000 leads generated because of this. In 2017, we've extended that, and what we're doing is having that in Berlin, in Paris, in Madrid, in Milan, and Vienna. So there are really a lot of opportunities to get leads with various restaurants, hotels, where your products could be applicable. And if you look a little bit further, we're talking right now about the accelerator, and that's really the pre-product fit to market, but we take it to the full extent. So we work with various startups to get the things right. We provide opportunities to do pilots with our customers, and then finally there can be the decision, invest or no, and then we start to roll it out throughout the countries. So we see that Metro is the perfect link for a startup and the end customer of restaurants and hotels, and we try to find a way to improve everyone's world. So thank you, and from our side, for Metro, we always are thinking about to give first, and that's important when we're connecting and creating a community. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks. Tanya, just one more question. I think it's open right now, right?
Yeah, right now, I think it just opened a couple of weeks ago in terms of the hospitality accelerator. So on the website, you would be able to find the information. I think today there's also another event that we're doing. It might be in Tel Aviv, but it's open. I would encourage everyone to apply because we're always interested, at least me personally, because I'm here in Portugal, to see more Portuguese representation, because that means also some possibilities for us to do fun stuff here.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Which is the website?
It's on the Metro website.
Yeah, and if you happen not to find it, just drop us an email. I will get it to you.